Citizens, it's that time. You are officially in the incinerator. Welcome to another episode of Midnight Madness. I'm your host, the Wizard Uncle James. I would love for you guys and you girls to become active citizens. Y'all already know how to do that. Shout out to everybody because this is a worldwide movement. Let me just say, I got a chance to watch the 49ers tonight. Go San Francisco. You see, I'm rocking a starter. What the heck? This was a gift that I got a couple years ago, and it's very comfortable. Um, I don't know if I get enough comments in the comment section uh, on the repost after we done live streaming. I might give y'all a look at my jacket collection. It's quite extensive. But with that being said, I would love for you guys and girls to become active citizens. Y'all already know how to do that. Shout out to everybody because it's a worldwide movement. Um, give everybody a couple minutes to get up in here. Yeah, I know this is an impromptu. That's why you guys and girls got to make sure not only that you subscribe, but you got your notifications on. I try and plan these things. I didn't think I was still gonna be up, but I'm still vibrant. So, what's going on, man? I'm doing good, Carl. I can't complain, man. I can't complain at all. Well, complaining wouldn't do no good because, as they always say, if you think you got it bad, there's always somebody that got it worse. But I'm doing well, man. Just waiting to give everybody a couple minutes to get up in here. Make sure you smash that like button as you come in. Um, we reached a milestone here. It's work putting out content, especially when you have a personal life outside of YouTube. Um, this has been a rough year for me with trucking. It has been very, very rough. Just so much going on in my personal life, but I still try and give you guys and girls the best content that I can. Sometimes I may not stream for days or I may not post for days and things like that. I'm going to be more active starting at the first of the year for 2026. I'm still alive and I'm still breathing. Um, with that being said, we have reached a milestone here and we have filmed and posted our 1000th video or piece of video library video footage, and I'm very proud of myself from getting that milestone. But I'm more proud of you guys and girls that tune into the channel, because without y'all, I'll just be a screaming maniac, uh, getting called crazy and carrying on. You know how a lot of us was before GunTube came along. So uh, I wish this channel many, many, many more successful videos and things like that. So I appreciate that. Also, make sure you are tuned into your favorite gun tuber. You support your favorite gun tuber. Um, and just make sure you support your favorite gun tuber, whether that be the Alerts on TV or another channel. For anybody that's thinking about getting into YouTubing or any kind of social media, all I can say is this: your authenticity is what's gonna make the people come. Stick to what you feel comfortable with. You're gonna have some people that may want to give you some advice, and sometimes it's good to take their advice. But my advice before we get into the meat and potatoes tonight is figure out what it is something you really love. If you want to do this, well, like I said, whether it's YouTube or Twitch or anything else, and stick to what your niche is. The authenticity is what people come for. Um, and they don't really like to see you switch it up. So just stick to what brought the people to you, and they're gonna come. Believe me. Most people want to go viral and feel like, well, if I can get a 1 million view video, it'll shoot my channel up. I say this: all the biggest gun tubers out here right now started with one or two people subbing, and they put in the work. They put in the work for years. Sometimes people see the fruits from the tree, but they don't see the labor that you put into planting that seed and nurturing that tree to make it grow fruit. So keep that in mind. It's work. You keep at it, and you'll be okay. Okay, so let's get into the meat and potatoes of tonight. And I saw a video earlier in Los news clip of a incident that happened in Las Vegas where a man was having some kind of a dispute with his family, and a passerby just happened to be walking up the street. He decided to pull a knife out on this man, and he wound up actually fatally stabbing this guy. This was in the middle of a busy intersection because it was at least, I want to say it was 3 lanes on each side, so this is a major thoroughfare when you got a 6-lane road. With a neutral ground, as we call it, in the median in the middle. And there was a lot of people out watching, filming. The guy that filmed the whole thing reported to the news that he wanted to intervene, but he was scared, and well, he was dropping diapers off for his baby, and he wanted to help, but he didn't want to put himself in danger. So the best thing he thought he can do is record. Let me tell everybody this. Ain't nobody coming to save you out here. For those of you who don't know the life before the internet, something like that, somebody would have picked something up and busted him in his head. Or ran over him. Nobody honked the horn. This guy is sitting in the car. He could have went and hit that guy. Now, I know some people are going to say, well, technically, he could have got himself into some kind of legal trouble, but it wasn't all that back then. I'll tell you, before the internet became a thing, especially that this was a random guy he decided to do this to, he'd have got his head opened up. Or he would have got subdued at the least. They let that man get killed out there, and I went in the comment section of that video. It's here on YouTube. And the comment section pointed out a lot how you couldn't pick up your phone to call 911. You couldn't honk the horn. You couldn't hit him with the car. You couldn't even drive and try and nothing. You just sat back and you recorded it, and somebody pointed out he was snickering while he was recording that. Let me tell you something. People already have the attitude of, I'm going to mind my business. And that's what it's going to be. You add in clicks and views now, and it's totally different. People will literally watch you die on the sidewalk in the middle of the street and will be more concerned about posting it online than they are about getting you some help. The first thing he thought wasn't to dial 911. It was to pull his phone out and record. You got to get legally armed out here, people. Ain't nobody coming to save you. Law enforcement, the majority of the time, they're crime responders. They're not crime fighters. The general public, this whole thing of I'm going to mind my business as long as this person is not coming after me, the general public is in trouble also. Ain't nobody jumping in to help you no more. I know we can turn back to people saying, well, I went to go help a victim and the victim turned on me. I'm telling you, in this day and age, with clicks and views and social media, nobody's going to save you. They'll talk about how messed up it was. Even to the point that this guy that filmed this whole interaction got a chance to sit on the news, and he kind of had a little smirk to his face and what have you. And at the end of the day, clicks and views. All he had to do was take that phone and dial 911, let them know where he was, and then he could have recorded. Eventually, they got the man subdued, and the innocent victim succumbed to his wounds. When we talk about the Second Amendment, I told you guys and girls on this channel, I'm going to conflate all this together to show how one thing can't live without the other. And sometimes it might not be comfortable to hear what you hear here, or you may understand what I'm saying, but you may not want to publicly acknowledge it, and that's fine. What I'm saying to you is you have to be careful out here. If you're able to be legally armed, you need to get armed. You got to understand, guys and girls commit crimes in broad daylight. Nobody's going to do nothing, and they know this. It was a horrifying video. The victim didn't turn around and actually take off running. He kept backing up, backing up, backing up. Um, my being, if I was unarmed and this guy has this big butcher knife, you can call me what you want. I'ma hightail it out of there. I ain't gonna take my chances. It was an unfortunate incident. Like I said, you got to be legally armed out here, but you have to understand people don't care about your safety. Nobody cares about your safety if you don't care about your safety. You are your first, and in most cases, last line of defense. Um, like I said, with that many cars, that many people out there, and not one person thought to run this asshole over, or even drive the car and try and put a car in between them. Now, like I said, people gonna say they didn't want to get involved and what have you because you don't know what's going on, and yeah, I can understand that, but I want you guys and girls to understand me. Nobody's gonna come and save you. You on your own out here. You able to be legally armed? Get your stuff, man. Lady, get them firearms. Learn them. Learn how to carry them. Keep them on your person. Understand, it can happen at any time, any place, anywhere, for any reason. And this man was just walking down the street minding his business, and some deranged guy that was having an argument with his family decided to turn on him and out of nowhere pull a knife out on him and started chasing him. And, killed the guy. And yeah, um, the murderer has a rap sheet. So, for anybody, you can go watch this video and read the comments. I just thought it was something I'd talk about since I'm still up tonight. I was checking out some YouTube videos. And, shout out to Twin Gen 22 also, by the way. Make sure y'all check him out. And Eyes and Ears and everybody else you guys and girls know a lot of the people that's in the space. We all push the same message. We may have a different way of relaying the message, but we all trying to get to the same goal of getting people, law-abiding citizens, legally armed, and teaching them you can't take your safety for granted. Yes, I am a trucker. I am a trucker. So yeah, that's kind of how that went. It was sad to see that, man. And like I said, for the guy to just say the first thing came to his mind was he wanted to get out and help, but he didn't want to put himself in harm's way, so he took his phone out and recorded. And we all know, he just took his phone out and recorded. He wasn't getting out. Out in Vegas, talking about this incident I seen out in Vegas where this guy was having an argument with his family, and he decided to turn on a stranger and grab his knife. You can come down. Ain't nobody gonna see you. He decided to grab his knife and go after an innocent person. And he wound up killing this guy in broad daylight, and nobody jumped in to stop him until after the guy was dead. Then they got out and tried to and subdued him till law enforcement showed up. But the guy that was filming, his first thought was to get clicks and views. That's why I put that in the title. His thought was to get clicks and views, and not dial 911. I mean, if you're not gonna get out there, that's fine. Dial 911. Call in this incident and then start recording. We live in a day and age. Ladies, let me talk to y'all for a minute. On this channel and on my previous channel that YouTube closed down, I scream from the mountaintops about y'all getting legally armed and protecting yourself. That you don't live in a day and age where men are gonna protect you or strangers are gonna protect you anymore. You don't live in that day and age. Guys see women getting assaulted out here for whatever reason. They'll pull their phone out and they'll film it and they'll say, I'm going viral. They will not jump in for several reasons. You know, one of the reasons is, especially in a domestic dispute, if I jump in to save this woman, if her dude starts tripping and he shoots me, she's gonna leave with him and I'm gonna be, you know what I mean? All right, we got Mr. 5'7" up in here. And that's how it'll turn out to be, you know, that she'll leave off with him and leave you there. And then, you know, people physically really don't want to get hurt. You just never know. But I tell these ladies all the time, you may not want to hear it from me. Go find a female channel. That'll tell you what you want to hear. Maybe you can accept it more from a woman. But you got to get legally armed because y'all get out here on these social media platforms and you scream about how you don't need men. And I'm not going into the whole gender war thing. You scream as a group across all racial lines about how you don't need men. And then when shit hit the fan out in public, y'all get angry that none of these men helped you. None of these men jumped out there and, you know, said, I'm going to protect you. It's not working like that no more. That ship has sailed and is drying out in the Pacific Ocean. You on your own. You might get lucky now and find a guy that'll just beg you to stop. But ain't nobody coming out there to save y'all no more. Ain't nobody coming out there to save nobody, man. Not even a lot of y'all friends, man. They run off. Y'all go commit crimes together and people get the busing, man. They run off and they leave you there. So I just thought that was egregious. Yep. No, that ship is already sunk. It's down there with, hell, I say it's a Pacific. It's down there at the bottom of the ocean with the Titanic, man. They ain't gonna raise that ship no more. Sorry to tell y'all out here, especially ladies. The loudest and the dumbest have been allowed to do all the talking for y'all. So men just decided that they're not gonna take their chance. Yep. So they decided they're not gonna take a chance. And for ladies, if you have a man in your life, whether it's your dad, your son, your father, whoever, you don't want to put your loved one at risk. You don't want your dad or your brother or whoever risking their life. Y'all can go ahead. Ain't nobody gonna see y'all. Sorry about that, everybody. I had a couple people come in the house. But yeah, it's nobody out there that's gonna get out there and save y'all, you know. You're on your own. Sorry to tell you. You know, the loudest and the wrongest always have the biggest mouths, and when you don't shout them down, everybody suffers the price for it. So you gotta get out here and get armed, man. And you just don't never know when this stuff gonna happen. And you gotta understand, you can scream for help. Nowadays, when people hear a gunshot, when people hear an argument, the very first thing they do, their instinct, because everybody got a cell phone, is to grab that phone and hit record. They try to catch it from the beginning to the end. And hopefully a fight break out or something happen where they can post it and it can go viral. I mean, so much to the point that almost public executions can be seen online now. People are filming other people being killed, and the body don't even be pronounced dead. Rest his soul, Nipsey Hussle. All the people out there after he was shot that was recording it so they can hurry up and post it online so they can get views. This man there laying there with a hole in his head. And your thought is let's get this online. What's going on? Oh, is that Manu? Appreciate you for stopping by. But yeah, I just wanted everybody to happen, not because they want to help. Yep. It's the way to get attention. It's money. You know, they say controversy sells. violence sells, sex sells, and all this stuff. That's the kind of world we live in. So believe me, at the first sight of you and somebody else squaring up, the cell phone's already out. Cell phones already out. Everybody running because they want to catch this on online. They want to catch this footage. Yeah, man. We got a well-dressed tactical in the house, aka Mr. He Loves High Points. Checking in. Mr. He Loves High Points. Everybody say what's up to the High Point King. Well-dressed tactical. But yeah, like I was saying, you just have to be careful, man. It's yeah, man. Attention has become more deadlier than fentanyl. Let me tell you what I mean by that. You guys and girls realize, do you guys and girls realize how many people's lives could have been saved if the people recording didn't take their phone out to record? If they just sprung into action? Like I said, you don't always have to fist fight with somebody. You can just jump in between and say, come on, man, let that slide. Just something as simple as that can stop a lot of this hostility. But most people, when they pull them phones out, they be hoping they go down so they can post it. And the people with the clearest, best video and audio is going to be the ones that's going to get the most views. And they will post that online. So, I mean, I just think that you looking for somebody to help you, you looking for somebody to save you, it don't exist anymore. Uvalde, Texas. It's at Robb Elementary. We'll never forgive that. We'll never forgive how law enforcement let a bunch of kids be slaughtered. Now, I understand when this guy first entered the school, there wasn't much they can do. But after being in there more than 2 or 3 minutes, dressed like Call of Duty warriors, they just let those kids be slaughtered. Which, by the way, my condolences to the creator of Call of Duty. For those of you who don't know, that love that game, the creator of Call of Duty was killed earlier in a car wreck. Oh, High Point. Everybody's first gun, 50-50, aka You Bet Your Life. But yeah, the creator of Call of Duty was killed in a car accident. Passed away at 55 years old. I know we use that reference here a lot, especially when I talk about Uvalde and that Robb Elementary debacle, how the officers literally was dressed like Call of Duty warriors, and the humanity kicked in. They went from being these super soldiers to saying, hey, I got a family at home. It's better your children than mine. And some people in the streets feel like that. They have family at home and it's better you than them. And some people feel like, I don't care what happened to you as long as I can catch it and get paid off of it. So there's already flock cameras all over the country. For those of you who don't know, the Patriot Act is alive and well. I don't want to get too political, but for all you people who like to talk about communism and all this other craziness, this been a surveillance state. Good old Dick Cheney got his way, so just stop it. So. But you got flock cameras all over the country now, even in small town America. Everything is being recorded. Yeah, we were talking about that, man. That High Point you saw at the gun show. I'm sorry about that, Well Dressed Tactical. I didn't get a chance to get back with you. As a matter of fact, probably tomorrow or something I get a chance to get it up with you later. But yeah, like I said, it's sad what happened to this man. Just by the mere fact that a phone call to law enforcement a, a hit of the horn, anything could have saved this man's life. Has anybody ever shot a level action rifle? Um, yeah, I fired one. I think I on this channel. Ooh, at the beginning, I think of this channel that I started, there might be a video of me shooting one. I think I was shooting a 45-70. I shot as a matter of fact, at Arm 5, I shot a 22 uh, lever action, and I shot a 44 Magnum lever action. It'd be something that I have to get used to. The general store we used to have here, man, I slept on several level action rifles. And when I finally got ready to shoot one, to buy one, they was going out of business and they flew off the shelf. So, shot myself in the foot with that. Yeah, I'm not. I'll be honest though, I'm not proficient with a level action rifle. I ain't even gonna sit here and tell you I'm gonna be like in them cowboy in Indian flicks. Nah, I'm not proficient with it. Um, it's like a pump shotgun. I had to get used to when I was younger, when I first started shooting the pump action. Well, with the lever action, I still have to get used to cycling and like my bolt action rifle. After the first shot, because I have a tendency with my bolt action rifles, when I fire the first shot, to not go after uh, with a quick follow-up shot. I always shoot and look, and then I was like I'm a deer in headlights sometimes before I cycle. So that's why I had did the video saying that I wanted to work on my long distance shoot, my bolt action rifle and stuff like that. So for those of you who've never shot a lever action rifle, it looked easier than it is. You can do it, but you have to practice it. And like any gun, one might have a little bit less tolerance than the other one. So some of them you might have to rack it hard to get it to reset. Some of them might just be a light, what have you. You know what I mean? It's kind of like shooting a high point and then shooting a soft shooting Walther. One of them is a damn hammer, a sledgehammer every time you hit, and the other one is just smooth. Or like shooting a 2011. That's even better. A 2011 just moves like butter, and with the high point, you got that 40-pound sledgehammer in your hand. So, yeah, that's eventually, maybe next year after I get some things done. Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I was just saying earlier at the beginning of the stream, when I'm done streaming. Okay, when I'm done streaming, if I get enough people in the comment section, uh, when I'm done streaming, I might go ahead on maybe later this week and pull them out and do it just like a little collage. This just be like a shorts. I'll just do them like a maybe part 1, part 2, part 3. Just something quick where you guys can see some of the stuff that I have as far as my coats. The funniest thing is, some of the coats that I have and jackets I never got to wear living in New Orleans. I didn't get to wear them until I got here to Iowa. Shit. You can have 100 jackets up here in Iowa, and you can get all the wearing out of them you want if you got a social life, because they be cold. Which, by the way, they talking about a New Year's blizzard up here. I'm sure hoping that they talking about where the town I live at, possibly a foot of snow. So that's going to be very interesting. You guys and girls know, as only we can do in Alert Zone TV fashion, I will go out and do some kind of a video, even if it's a short, of me knocking some rounds loose or showing off a firearm that I carry in the wintertime or whatever. Just, reiterating to everybody. You know how we do it here. I would go out in the rain, but I don't have the gear, like I said, the waterproof gear to withstand shooting out in the rain. But that's another thing, since I'm on the subject. Most people have never went out in the middle of a It not just a storm, just a constant rain. Most people has never went out in the middle of constant rain and practice shooting a gun. The average person, if it's raining and somebody come up on them, if they don't get within 3 or 4 feet of them, if they 15, 20 yards, 30 yards coming towards them, most people have never practiced shooting in the rain. Because we all feel, like I said, that's why we have these discussions that we have here on this channel. We all feel like if we ever have to defend ourselves, it's going to be the perfect scenario. It's going to be daytime. It's going to be warm outside. You're going to see the threat before it gets to you. You're going to have plenty of time to react. In the real world, they'll roll up on you. It'll be evening time and it'll be damn pouring down raining. What are you going to do? That's why I just encourage, even if you are a gun tuber that don't have the proper camera gear for the water, off camera, take your gun out in the rain, at a range, maybe where you're shooting some kind of a target or something, steel target or something that's not getting real wet, or even if it's getting wet, but you got it put up where you can still shoot it, you know what I mean? And just get used to shooting in the rain. Because a whole lot changes when it's raining. You got to adjust for the wind, but you got to adjust for the water in your face. I got a hat on, which is a lid, but what if I don't have a hat on? The rain is coming directly in my eyes, And there is a possibility something can happen in a rainstorm because criminals don't take the day off because of inclement weather. I mean, up here in Iowa, them motherfuckers talking about what they used to be doing, robbing on snowmobiles. You know what? Since you brought that up, well dressed, yeah, I'll address that. So for those of you who haven't seen it, there's this video going around. It's from last year of a UPS driver or a guy dressing up as a UPS worker. And this was a very, very gruesome video. I'll walk y'all through it. Y'all welcome to go back and after here and check it out. So this happened in Coon Rapids, Minnesota. There was a house with a son, two toddlers. He had two younger siblings, his mom and his stepdad. Apparently the stepdad was into narcotics really, really heavy because per the, I think FBI, law enforcement, he had rented a couple storages and he had large quantities of drugs and stuff in these different storages. So they had been watching him and they were saying because somebody reported they seen suspicious activity at his house. So apparently there was trafficking, foot traffic coming in and out of the house or what have you. And you know how the neighbors call the police. So they was aware of what he was doing and I guess they was building the case. Well, he had cameras outside of his home and they had cameras inside the house with audio. And these guys showed up in a car. They parked up the street. Two of them. They came dressed as UPS workers. And my guess is somebody sent them and sent them in there to do that. Or they got a tip that those guys was rolling heavy and there should have been some money in there because that's what they came in there looking for. They had exotic lizards, to my understanding, in a part of the house. But long story short, they're on camera outside of the house. They noticed they're on camera. So they kind of trying to mess with the camera. But they ring the doorbell or whatever. And they dressed up like it's UPS and they got a delivery. At first, nobody comes out. Then the son comes out of the house and he talks to them in the driveway as they walking off or whatever. Well, when he goes back to the door, I guess to open the door or what have you, one of the guys pull a gun out on him and tell him, do what I say do, I'm going to shoot you. Well, they go in the house. They already know the guy's name, the dad. So this let me know that this was targeted. And they proceed to start asking him about money. and where is that? And they go in the back bedroom where it's the wife and the two young children. And she's naked and she jumps up and she dials 911 so they hear the whole thing. But these guys don't know 911 hears what's going on. And they're asking her where the money is, and she's screaming she don't got no money, and they threatening her. You know, the next thing you know, one of them knocked upside her head, and it was very gruesome. Well, they killed the stepson, they killed the dad, and then they wound up killing this woman right in front of her two toddler children. And the youngest toddler like went into a freak out and was screaming, and the older one had to run in there and grab him and drag him out of the room, and then 911 showed up. You know, you guys, like I say, y'all can go and see this video for yourself. These guys all got convicted. Two of them serving life sentences. The third one, I think they just waiting to sentence him because he's been convicted. I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it. Since we having this discussion in this Midnight Madness, you guys and girls know I've never spoke against the underworld. I have a lot of respect for the underworld because I know as bad as rap as the underworld get, the underworld keep a lot of people safe. But if you're going to be in the underworld, if you got to have cameras outside of your house and inside of your house with audio, you should also have a weapon with you. Let me just go ahead on and get off into a little street stuff real quick. You gotta have that heat with you. I'm gonna tell you why you gotta have that heat with you. In the drug world, no matter how good you are to people, no matter how much they can double and triple their money with you, no matter how much you let them slide, it's always gonna be somebody that wants to take the shortcut. Well, you know what? He didn't have nothing in the house. It turns out, like I said, that all the stuff they was looking for was in the storage. But how they knew where he lived, like I said, you know, the streets talk. Eventually somebody will find you. Nevertheless, you know that you rolling that kind of heavy, you're supposed to have a burner on you. The 20-year-old son lost his life. He was in his work clothes. He was getting ready to go to work, and they called him and told him because of the weather, it wasn't going to be nothing going on that day. Had he went to work, that he would have survived. But it's a cautionary tale, not only for people in the street, but for us, law-abiding citizens. This world we live in, where everybody shops online now, for me personally, I don't care to pay bills online, and I don't care to shop online. I wish that I could go to the store for everything that I need. But I understand the world we live in. Criminals evolve. I don't know why law-abiding citizens refuse to do what the criminals do. The criminals evolve and they adapt to the changes in the climate, the world. Since now the criminals know it's harder to just walk up on somebody and rob them, well, they know everybody orders offline now. So they pretend to be UPS, or they pretend to be some kind of delivery person, or they pretend to be some kind of contractor. And this is how they get things done. This guy, first off, shouldn't have sent his son out there. Second off, somebody who got their face covered, nah. One of them ski masks, them shysters or whatever they call them, nah. You don't know these guys, you don't deal with them. And like I said, I'm not going to go into a long screed about the street, but it's a cautionary tale. And even had he given that money up, they was going to kill him anyway. Because the guy that actually rung the doorbell, his face was in plain view on the camera and he knew it. So they was going to kill him anyway. All they wanted to do was get that money. They definitely was going to kill him. They came there with killing on their mind, and that's what they did. Execution style. And it was all caught on camera. Even though the camera is not like crisp, but it's good enough where you can see everything and you don't have to imagine or try and interpret. You see exactly what you see. It's just sad that those kids had to go through that. But it's another cautionary tale about the street life. It's just like that. Those of us who get up and go to work every day. There's always gonna be somebody that's gonna want you to do all the hard work, and then when it's time, they're gonna want to come and just take the fruits from you. You go in labor, and they'll reap the harvest. In the drug world, there's always gonna be somebody that's gonna look to get over. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you say. Somebody is always looking to get over, and they will kill you. Greed is something else. People talk about greed and money being the root of all evil. I'm not gonna say money is the root of all evil. I can almost say jealousy and laziness is more the root of evil than money is, because people get jealous, so they target you, and people are too lazy to go out there and get it. As the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said in his 1967 keynote address, each year this food, each year this earth provides more food than humans can consume. All you got to do is go out there and get it. With the streets, if everybody followed the rules, it's unlimited money. You just have to go out there and get it. But it don't matter. There's always gonna be somebody that wants to take a shortcut. Always. That's why it's just not worth it. It's always somebody that's looking to get over on you. And in this day and age of cameras, when they show up, they showing up to kill everybody. As sad as it's sound what I'm finna say, I'm glad they didn't kill those two little babies. Because some people would have killed the damn babies too. But in the other sense, you look at these kids scarred for life after what they saw because they witnessed the whole thing. You know what I mean? So it's just something you got to be careful with, man. These criminals, they're very, very savvy. They're very slick. I've seen the one in Houston where the guy pretends to be DoorDash, and he gets up in this woman's house, and luckily she was able to get him out. You know, these guys and girls are bold because they don't figure most people are armed. Also, they figure at your home is where you're most vulnerable because most people have their guard down. You can't take your safety for granted. You can't leave it up to nobody else. You cannot leave your safety up to nobody else because you might not live to tell about it. So that's just one of the things I wanted everybody to think about. Nobody's coming to save you. You out here, you on your own, protect yourself. Clicks and views is way more important than your life is in this day and age to other people. You're gonna be in a dope game. Having cameras ain't no good if you ain't got that fire to back you up. It's just that simple. You in the dope game, you gotta understand eventually somebody's gonna come rob you. Somebody's gonna try and do harm to you. No matter how good of a person you are, somebody's still gonna be looking for a way to get over. And you have to get that through your head. Somebody's looking to get over on you out there. You have to be armed. Period. Point blank. Had this man been armed, I don't think that incident would have turned out the way it turned out. But not being armed, being comfortable around strangers, letting your guard down around UPS workers and what have you, in this day and age, is all of it is dangerous. So that's my thought on that. You know, condolences to the people that lost their lives in that situation, and condolences to those children, because they're gonna be scarred forever. They'll always remember that. You know, like I said, they'll always remember that. So understand, you may think you're not being watched by other people, but other people are watching you. As I always say, you may think, well, you live a low-key life, nobody shouldn't mess with you. Yeah, they shouldn't. But what should be and what is two different things. And you as a law-abiding citizen got to understand that. I always believe in the streets, innocent people shouldn't be touched. You don't got no business going after a family member or somebody because you can't get to them. But that's not what it is. This day and age, people will blow your brains out. It's just that simple. Well, with that being said, hit me in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this discussion. Um, what you guys think about the jacket, the hat. Like I said, if I get enough likes on this stuff, I'll possibly do a couple of shorts on some of the jackets that I have. But with that being said, the incinerator is officially burned out. This has been another episode of Midnight Madness. I hope you guys and girls are safe and continue to be safe. And until next time, stay safe, stay on high alert. We out.